one, go.
Jesus Christ, that was a long countdown. Today we have Deb's real name unknown. Debs, what is your name?
All right. Well, my name is Matthew. I go by either that or Matt.
And Milk
Um,
Bongs?
yeah, or Milk Bongs or Dabs or Debs or anything you can think of. I respond to.
Oh, man. And you've been on the scene, what, like 3 years?
Phew, yeah, it's approaching 3 years for Meow Talk, I believe. Think I joined OSRS and then maybe a month in, I think I joined Meow Talk.
Oh, man. And
Nice.
what drawed you here?
Honestly, I was just hanging out at 332 every single day, doing some fletching as a noob in my dragon armor and hobby cape, and I saw a few people just chilling at the GE consistently, and I don't remember who exactly invited me, but someone said that I should join sometime, and I ended up joining a few days later, and have really enjoyed the community. A lot of great folks.
Okay. So that right there, that's our RS position. Um, so what do you do, man? Outside of this, what do you do?
So like work, hobbies, anything specific you want
Anything.
to know? Anything?
Tell
Well,
us about you. We want to know about you.
sure. So I mean, growing up, I played a lot of golf, and for the most part, my work was around golf. Like I worked a lot of country club jobs, cart barn, pro shop. But recently, for the past probably 2.5 years, I've kind of strayed away from that, and now I'm actually doing property management, and I am the manager for housekeeping for a nightly rental pool.
Ah,
Um, yeah, I mean, we manage 200 properties. It gets kind of hectic sometimes. It's not the most fun job ever, but it's somewhat challenging compared to what I'm used to.
wow. Wouldn't have expected
Yeah.
that from a guy who melts bongs, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Golf.
it gets interesting, but I mean, for housekeeping, it only gets so interesting.
I mean, that could get real. Is there any like hotel rooms? I mean, that could get real interesting real quick. You know, you start
So
finding crazy shit, and
yeah,
people move
we
out and they leave their, 20-year age sex doll.
Yeah, so we do find interesting things. We don't manage any like hotel rooms. We do manage like condos, cabins, and homes owned by like actual people. Like we're not the owners of these homes and cabins.
It's
We're through contract with owners and stuff.
Oh, so it's more
Um,
like if I wanted to buy a condo in say Florida and rent it out, I would have like you guys take care of the stuff down there while because I'm not there. Is what you're
yeah,
saying.
exactly. That's exactly how it is.
Ah, I think I've seen those
Yeah.
companies. They're on the rise a little.
Hey,
hmm
Ben, up the ladder, Ben.
Yep. Anyways, what's the
Sorry.
most interesting thing you found, man?
So I was actually the inspector up until November. So this is actually kind of recent that I got into this job position because I was doing like home inspection for the company and mainly just going in and like finding all the housekeeping issues, maintenance issues, reporting it or taking care of it myself if I could. But honestly, as an inspector, I didn't really find anything too gross or too interesting. I think I found a chillum one time.
A chillum?
But recently, one of my inspectors, yeah, one of my inspectors found at the same house, they found two vibrators and anal lube.
Anal loop.
And actually, at that same house, I found a used tampon behind the dresser. It was really fucking weird.
That is.
Like I don't know why it was behind the dresser of
That's
all
the
places, but
weirdest place. What do you? I had a I had a friend. We went to the beach once, and she did sort of. She walked over to the bushes, yanked it out, and threw it into the woods. But why? I don't understand. Like, what are you doing that you're just like, I gotta throw this directly against like the wall?
Oh my
Well,
god,
in
dude.
the heat of the moment, I'm sure it can you take it out and just fling it wherever it lands, it lands.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a heat of the moment situation there. I mean, but the next day or something, you're not like, man, what is this spot on the wall?
That's the weird thing is that like I didn't personally find a spot on the wall, and none of my housekeepers had reported that they found a spot on the wall. So it was like it was weird. It was like someone just planted it back there to see if they could come back the next time and find it or something.
Oh, like the old, I'm at the gas station and I'm gonna just put this can on a shelf and see if it's still there later. Every time I've gone to a gas station, they go, yeah. I go, what is this doing here? And they go, people come in and they do that. They literally, and then it's like, what complaint are you gonna make? You're gonna, oh, that can I put there on the way to work this morning, still there on my way home. Like, get over yourself.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I mean, but no spot on the wall, no spot
That's
on the
just
dresser. Just tells me someone dropped it down there. But that's still sort of.
Yeah,
it's still
it was just a
cringy.
weird placement, especially considering the circumstances. Like no spots anywhere, and nobody mentioning anything to me.
Yeah, that's yep.
That's a cringe.
That
Yeah.
is. That's like going into a grocery store bathroom and finding a turd on the wall. You know.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
just like, why are people why? What's wrong with you? Why are you doing this? Oh my god.
I've actually walked into the Walmart here in my town, and this was when I was in middle school, and there was a homeless dude just taking a shit right on top of the drain in the middle of the Walmart bathroom.
I believe it, man. I walked at one. I worked at one, right? And I like go to use the bathroom. I come out. I see someone had like done it on the floor, stepped in it, smeared it, and there were just shitty footsteps everywhere.
Shitty footsteps.
So I get out of the bathroom, like I'm like, that's not a me problem at all. So yeah, that's cool, but that's not a me problem. We're not making that a me problem. I get out of the bathroom, and right there is one of my. It was a cool guy. It was like one of my more favorite managers. Tats everywhere. Fucking zero fucks given.
Right.
Guy. So just a good guy all around. I think he owned a t-shirt making business. He was just. I don't know. He was just doing his own shit. God, what was it? I walk up to him. I go, "Hey, um, uh." So in the bathroom, and immediately, the second I say bathroom, he goes, someone shit on the floor. I go, yeah. He goes, we'll get the janitor over there. And I'm like, well, wait a second. Because not only did they do that, but they stepped in it in their shitty footsteps all the way along. And he's like, oh, fucking Christ, man. He's like,
Instead of like a murder scene footprints with blood, it's a shit scene with actual shit.
yeah, it was it's one of the more memorable things. Like I go into a place, if I see someone put their butt against the wall or something and did it, I don't panic at all. It is whatever to me, you know, but when I see the footprint thing was just the lasting memory type deal. I gotta change my nickname so people know. So anyways, you mentioned some vibrators and lube. You take that home and have yourself a good night.
You know what? I thought about it. No, I'm kidding. I took it straight to the lost and found. Every time I
Who's coming back for that? Who's like,
no, that I mean that's what I'm saying. Is like this person has to be really, really lonely and like not
yeah,
give
I
one
mean,
fuck to call back
yeah,
for this.
yeah. When you got
And
two, dude, holy shit.
yeah. And you know the funny thing is that was a small house. It was one bedroom. It's like I could see that this person came up here was kind of lonely. It was around Valentine's Day,
Oh my god. So
so it's
Valentine,
like
the play for Valentine's Day is to throw your used tampon behind the dresser, shove a dildo in your bum, and slot.
just have a solo
Slot.
getaway, man.
Yeah, dude. Just DP yourself and then leave everything related to it there.
Yeah.
I wish I had the money to just go. You know what? I'm a fucking just leave all my toys everywhere. Just when I'm done, they're one time use.
Yeah.
$40 dildo, one time use. Oh, you can clean
They're
them?
too expensive for that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can clean them? Never heard of it.
You know, like it's not like one of those. It was. I don't know. I haven't seen very many sex toys in my day, but I will
Oh,
say, seeing this sex toy, like it was a nice one.
that's the thing.
I would say it had like a little clit attachment to it to like to vibrate on the clit as well while you're in. So I wouldn't say it was cheap. But yeah, it's definitely shocking, like how much money some of these people have and the stuff that they leave behind. Like when I was an inspector, I used to kind of to change the subject from the gross stuff. I used to actually find unopened bags of name brand chips or like steaks, even. Um, hell, pork butts, man. I would just like slow roast pork butts I'd find at houses and have pulled pork for
I
3 or
mean,
4
that's different.
days.
It's in the fridge, man. What's the,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
If
But,
it's unopened, then hell yeah, I'm taking that shit home. But if it, I don't know, I don't trust a lot of people. If it's open, I toss it or I offer it to someone else.
well, the thing with that, though, too, is like, you go on vacation somewhere and you buy some stuff at the grocery store to do whatever. Like, you really gonna, like, you're not taking the $20 in steaks you bought on the plane with you. Like,
True.
well, yeah, like that's an interesting one. What's in your carry on? 20 pounds of beef.
Right.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
To be fair though, like I live in a really small like tourist town in the middle of bumfuck New Mexico. So like the nearest airport to us is Roswell, which is an hour and a half away.
Wait,
So like most of our tourists are like from Texas, Colorado, Arizona,
oh my,
Mexico. And
I'm
they all
gonna,
drive up here.
I want to escape Texas and just go somewhere that's like it, but not it, is what you're saying.
In a way, like so the elevation of our town is close to 9,000. So like we are a mountain community. Um, and we do have like a pretty decent ski area for how
Oh,
shitty our town is.
okay.
And it's also like really good mountain biking, hiking. Like our peak mountain is the second largest in New Mexico, standing at 12,000 feet, I think, or
Okay, I
close
mean,
to.
well, yeah, then it makes sense to go someplace like Texas, which is flat.
Yeah.
And you know, if it's a 3-4 hour drive, that's like nothing. You drive up there, get a fucking Airbnb, throw your tampons against the wall, and get
Yep.
down. You know.
Yeah, no, we get a lot of people from like El Paso, which is 2.5 hours away. We get a lot of people from Dallas, which is only 9 hours away, or like Post. Um, shit, why am I blanking right now? Where Texas Tech is at Lubbock. Those are only like 4 hours away. So yeah, it's very easy to get up here by car. Very cheap as far as gas goes because it's not too far of a distance. But yeah, it's much better than Texas. Like I actually was born and raised outside of Dallas, so um,
By the Dallas Buyers Club,
but I I'm
or by
I was
Delta.
a little young whenever I lived down there, so most of like my coherent life is up here in New Mexico, which kind of sucks because New Mexico sucks.
What? What do you mean? It's a great place for making meth, I hear.
Yeah, if you want to get your car stolen, you want to try some meth, come visit New Mexico.
You didn't get that job on the board of tourism, did you?
Yeah, no shit.
What's your pitch? Well, we got 5 pitches here. This guy's got a pretty good portfolio. What's the slogan? If you want to try some meth and get your
Navi,
car stolen. Okay, what are you guys doing?
I'm waiting for Penn. I don't know where
Okay.
she went.
Anyways, that's a that's a hell of a slogan, though.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of slogans, we got these toilet brushes in. called
Yeah.
Mr. Sita, Sita toilet brushes, and he kind of looks like the Mr. Clean dude, except instead he has a monocle, a top hat, and he's holding a magician's wand. And I was like,
What?
oh my god, the perfect slogan for this would be Mr. Sita, make that shit disappear.
Disappear.
Yeah,
When you said Mr. Sita, I was like, oh. And then I was like, is it going to be the Latino Mr. Clean? And then you're like, he has a top hat and manacle. Like someone saw the fucking Mr. Peanut. They saw Mr. Clean and said, what if these two fucked and had a kid? And then
I mean,
what if neither of them got to decide the name?
yeah, I don't know, man. I thought it was pretty funny, and I I tried looking it up on Google, and for some reason I can't find the image of the dude. It's only on these toilet brushes at my work.
It's got to be probably the most like off-brand. Someone calls like these property management companies and other janitorial companies and goes,
Yeah,
"Hey, would you like 1,000 toilet brushes for $50? We got
yeah, for
you."
real. Yeah, no, they were hella cheap. That's why I got them.
They were the Dollar General special.
Dollar Tree,
Dollar
everything's a
Tree.
dollar.
Oh God. Ah man, I own some Dollar Tree bowls, and no matter how you clean them, those fuckers do not get clean. It's like they pre-fuck them up or something.
Yeah, I have a few Dollar Tree bowls and plates, and like I don't know, for some reason, like I have a dishwasher, but I still feel the need to like scrub my plates with at least like a sponge to get like chunks off and stuff. But for some reason, man, these Dollar Tree plates, they always come up with like some weird marks on them that you cannot get off.
Yeah, dude. And I was like, man, like it's cool because you can get plateware for cheap, but like there's shit like I don't know if it's just pre-etched glass. Like they're just like, hey, did you guys finish making that load of plates? Cool. Run it through that sandy tunnel. Turn on all the fans. Dump the coarsest fucking sand we can find in there.
Yeah.
And then pack it and send it.
Pack it, send it, call it a day.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like one of those things, like how you fuck it up. It's just glass that's flat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to blow glass. I don't know how to work with glass, but I think I could take a piece of molten glass, slam it on a table, let it cool, and go, you got yourself a plate.
Oh my god, dude. Imagine. Here, just use this. It's all like just way deformed. It looks like a flower that's been welted.
Hey, I was just about to say, I might have just came up with a business idea and call them slam plates.
Slam plates.
How do they make those? Well, they just take molten glass, drop it from 2 feet up, and however it lands, however it lands. Every product's a little unique than the other. You ever eat steak on a wavy piece of glass? Well, now you can.
Oh man.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Well, what other fun things are there to do in New Mexico? Oh, I forgot nothing.
Actually, I'll give this town a little bit of credit. We do have 8 golf courses.
8 golf courses.
So I grew up, like I said, like in the country club business. And I started playing golf when I was in 8th grade. So I was like 13.
Yeah, well, 8 golf courses. What else are you gonna do? Is there
Yeah.
an arcade around? No, but there's 8 fucking golf courses. Figure it out, kid.
Shit, you know what? We don't have an arcade now that I think about it.
You
Oh
should
my
open an
god.
arcade, Dad.
You know what? There's a lot of things that should be opened in this town. But the only bad thing is that nobody wants to work. This is the land of do it mañana. I know that there's worse places like Hawaii. I know Hawaii's like island time. If there's waves, nobody's going to work. Because we actually have a housekeeping branch in Maui. My GM goes there and tells me about it all the time. But yeah, no, the workforce here is just horrible. Like we've tried opening Chick-fil-A, Chili's, just a whole bunch of shit. I think we have tried opening an arcade. We've tried opening like a go-kart track, and
Bro, go
yeah,
kart track, you literally just say, this is how you stop, this is how you go, here's a helmet, sign this paper. Like, how
yeah.
shitty of a worker, like, you could just be fucking obliterated and do that.
No, I know, dude. Like, like my old jobs, I used to just go and fucked up because it was so easy. I don't go to work under any altercations anymore. I leave that at home. But
Oh, you grew up?
yeah, I grew up a lot. I don't do that stupid shit at work anymore. Um, but yeah, no, like businesses last here 4 to 6 months, and then they shut down,
Oh my god.
and it's because places can't make money because they get bad reviews because nobody wants to work.
4 to 6 months.
It's just, yeah. And it's gotten even worse with COVID. Like a lot of our main restaurants that the tourists mainly come up here for are shutting down. Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Well, a
It's
lot of restaurants are complaining about that. They say because the unemployment and all that, no one wants to come work for them. My response to that though is like, well, what are you offering people? If the issue is
right.
people don't want to work for you, what are you offering them? It sounds like there's
Exactly.
a market issue here. You're not offering what people need and want. So it comes down to you. Like I watched a video and I keep bringing it up where the restaurant workers are like, people are waiting for their old jobs to come back. That's not going to happen. And I'm just like, dude, so what you're basically saying is, hey, your old job that paid enough for you to fucking survive, it's not coming back. So what you need to do is come here, work for the minimum wage for a tipped employee, which is like $4 plus tips.
Mm,
Sucks to be you. Like, no, dude, if you're getting like in my state, it's 275, and then you get that 300 add-on from the government. If you're doing that, and you're making more than you would that tipped minimum wage job. I wouldn't. I'd be like, nah, bro. I'm gonna learn the garden. Fuck you. I got
right.
all this free time now, and my bills are paid. Why would I go back to that and have to deal with Karens and complainers and
Yeah, that was
managers?
one of our biggest deals coming out of like we we came out of COVID. Not I don't want to say come out of COVID because we're still under like COVID regulations. We're just more open than I know a lot of states have been. But we opened back up back in June, I think. So we were down for like 3 months. And one of our biggest issues was getting people to come back to work because they were getting paid more on unemployment than they would have been working their asses off for us.
Yeah. So what'd you have to do? Did you raise what you were gonna offer people money wise, or did you just sit there and whine about it?
Um, Honestly, a few of us, like myself, ended up bucking up and taking on an extra load. Obviously, I was paid more for all that stuff, and I ended up getting a raise because of it. But we basically just had to get like new staff that were willing to work and that didn't want to sit on unemployment, and so we ended up losing like probably 7 really good housekeepers and had to bring in 7 brand new ones, and it's kind of been a struggle, not gonna lie. And our housekeeping manager left because she ended up having to like do a whole bunch of extra shit without like any extra pay or no gratitude towards her either. Like everyone was against her, the staff, the customers, her bosses and shit. So I don't know. It's really fucked up, and it's still kind of fucked up because now I'm having to deal with it.
It's hard when you like lose that good staff, and then it kind of makes you realize like, oh, like they were worth more money, like. But it's hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Kind of
a lot
kind
of
of Navi saying.
well beyond that, like a lot of places they'll go. It's not. So it's funny. I've talked to a lot of like management consultants. A lot of them. And it's always, hey, we make these couple pitches when companies come to us and ask how can we make a better program for our employees for retention. And literally every one of them, you just automatically sort of just do this automatically. You put the first one, increase pay and benefits. And then the rest you might pitch like a point system where they can get like a new microwave or whatever BS out of something. Um,
So we kind of did something like that. All of us, other than like management and office members of the company, we were all independent contractors. And so right after we were about to open up, they offered they offered for shoot, I think it was 4 or 5 people out of like 15 of us to come on board as a full-time employee with benefits, with insurance, with holiday pay, vacation pay, all that good stuff. But like that wasn't everyone. That's why we lost so many good people. Like you only brought 4 out of the 10 good people that we could have had.
yeah, and that's
You
the
didn't
other
make enough
thing.
room for
Yeah.
everyone.
So, but yeah, that goes right back to it. Like these companies will just they'll go, oh, we'll implement a little incentive program where their managers can give them points and they can get like gift cards and dumb shit like that. Uh, and then they'll go, well, how come this really? It's only this much increase in keeping people around. Well, just fucking pay them. Stop playing the we'll work you 32 hours so we don't gotta do insurance. Stop playing these games. If your business
Yeah.
cannot support that, your business does not deserve to exist. That's it. You don't deserve employees. If you can't pay them right, you don't deserve them.
Right, and you're not going to keep good employees around paying them shit.
Yeah, I always
And
ask the question.
you're not going to make bad employees turn into good employees by
Yeah,
not paying them.
yeah, I always ask the question. So the cost of turnover. So you pay this much for a drug test. You pay this much for whatever, and then you bring them in and blah blah blah, and you see the sink in productivity and etc. Training new people. If you're constantly doing that, are you really offsetting the cost of paying the fucking benefits and paying a better wage?
Probably not.
No, I don't. I think the fucking difference is so slim. You could probably negligible it out. But the benefit of keeping that worker who knows all your processes, all your systems, keeping them there. I would say the employee that's been there 5 years is worth a lot more than the guy you just got off of fucking Indeed
Mm-hmm.
by leaps and
Agreed.
bounds. Because it's just like the old saying: it's easier to keep an old customer than it is to get a new one. Well, same thing with the employee. It's going to be cheaper in the long run. You're not going to waste time training them. They already know your processes. They're already vetted.
And if you treat them right, more than likely they're going to treat you right.
Yeah, that's a good solid rule too. Treat your employees right, and they're gonna build that success for you. And these are things we
And
try to
also,
avoid.
like a lot of people don't recognize too that people have off days. Like we're not all perfect and shit.
Oh yeah, I
And
mean
then
you've experienced
people end up
that.
getting, yeah, people end up getting into like more trouble than they should because they had like one off day out of like hundreds of good days.
I mean you experienced that with this community management we do. People
Right.
expect perfection, and the second you don't live up to that perfection, they no longer they feel they don't have to do anything. They feel the whole thing is awful. It's like person has they make one wrong move and
Navi,
now they're the worst. I know.
Navi,
A P1.
no,
What's
uh,
up?
do a kill.
Okay.
Navi, were you just talking about this community specifically?
Well, I so you weren't here when I laid down the rules. Part of this is less game talk, more just that person's talk when we do these. So we're trying to avoid these where someone literally just goes on about whatever game they're playing for 50 minutes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Navi, I'm gonna have to forfeit this round.
No problem. I'll just solo it out.
Okay, I'll be right back, guys.
No problem. Oh man, that really yeah. What brings you in here, Zakar? You got any questions for Debs?
No, I was coming to listen live.
Listen live. I'm glad Zakar joined us. He's definitely one of my favorite Meow Talk members.
MT
Well, thank
members.
you,
Yeah,
sir.
he's the oldest too, I think.
No,
Are
I'm
you
not.
really?
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not.
I think
I'm
he's like
close.
I think
One
he's
of,
like
but
80 or something. I know he doesn't know how to use email.
yeah. I'll qualify for AARP this year, so that'll be
Oh, well, you know what, dude? You know what, dude? I've been qualifying for AARP since I was 20. They always sending me stuff. They're like, it's not just for old people, and I'm like,
until except for on the bottom, it's like you must be 65 to enroll.
I don't know which
Yeah,
ones you're getting that says that. Okay, so he's got a question. We can wrap that into something. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like the papers I get say not just for the elderly anymore and this and that, and I'm just like, I don't know. You're not selling me. I've never been anywhere where they like anywhere you go. Okay, cool. You offer a AAA or AARP discount. I bet I can get you just to give me that without showing you anything. Like it's not that hard. And usually all those discounts, whether it be someplace offers a military, they offer it's always like, oh, like a 10% little itty bitty discount. It's always this small little itty bitty discount, and it's like there's no benefit to any of it, and people will buy into that shit just to get that discount. Like if I can count on I can't count on my fingers how many people in a year go, you offer a AAA discount. But I'm like, no, just chill. You want a discount? I'll give you a discount. Like, just chill the fuck out. Don't pay $60 a year for something. Yeah, I don't know. I'm ranting now.
I'm ranting now, he says.
Well,
it's like those
I hate those
coupon
programs.
books that they used to sell. Do you remember
Oh
those
my
coupon
god,
books?
yeah.
What were they called? Entertainment books, I think, or something like that.
There's all sorts of little coupon books out there. Like I have customers come in and they bring these coupons, and I'm like, where are you getting these? Oh, and they're like, oh, it's some book I got. I guess it's like fundraising ones. I'm like, the weirdest thing is like, usually when it's a local fundraising thing like that, they'll come to us and I give them like X amount of like free this or that that they can auction off. I'm like, I don't remember one time ever in my life handing out these coupons. Like I don't know who does this or what. I'm just like, whatever. It's a whatever coupon. It doesn't bother me, you know?
Back. Sorry about that.
Anyways.
Hey, welcome back.
Oh man, we really got off into the weeds about the ARP. One day I'll find out how old Zakar is though.
One day.
Hello, Zakar.
Hello.
I'm guessing
All right.
I'm guessing 35 or 40.
That's. Well, I'm definitely not that old. So. Like
Oh,
I said, I'm not
watch how you say that.
Yeah. Then
like I said, I'm not the oldest. I just like to say that I am.
yeah. Well,
I'm older than most people.
You don't know how to make an email account, so that's generally.
No. Dropbox and email are two different things.
Yeah, you just
have
need
an email.
You just need an email to use it. You can make another email for it. I don't know. We're not arguing this.
All right.
So someone had a question. What do you see as the progression of this community, man?
You know, we've gotten a lot of great people in the clan chat, especially as of recent, like Rue, Emily, Takumi. Rue is always welcoming people in general, and I really like that. I think that adds like a really warm touch to the community. Takumi and Emily being on top of events is, you know, they keep it entertaining. At least for me, they do. And then also, I think we have great leadership. Leadership.
Leadership. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, call me great,
leadership.
also say
Sometimes it feels like shit, but you know, like we don't always agree and stuff. But I feel like we're all really good leaders. I feel like when it comes down to it, we solve things, or at least I think that we do. But the community seems like it's strong. We have consistent members on every day, so I think the progression is looking good.
Oh, huh.
The Discord's definitely grown since I've joined. Like I remember when I joined Discord, it wasn't nearly as poppin', and we've had a lot of nitro boosters in the last couple of years,
Oh
which
yeah,
has helped our Discord significantly.
Oh yeah, we've maintained a 3, so that's pretty cool. Shit.
Why is it only saying? Oh, that's because y'all two are up there. We only have 4 of our nitro boosters on right now.
Yeah. Well, that'll be its own thing. We're not worried. Oh shit. Alright. Any other
Also,
questions?
too, we've also expanded into Minecraft, World of Warcraft. Though it has been quiet as of recent.
Yeah, we've
There
kind of
was
put it's still open, but it's on
It's on a back
on
burner. It's on
yeah,
simmer. It's
for
on low.
Minecraft.
It's on low. What questions does Trace has? Trace usually has some quick, easy questions here.
Yeah, okay, so for your the first quick easy question that I'm going to ask you pancakes or waffles?
waffles.
Why?
They're crispier. The syrup holds them better because they have like pockets and stuff.
Mhm.
And I don't know. Maybe it was just the way that my mom made them growing up, but pancakes always seemed too gourmet-ish for me. My mom would, I don't know. My mom was a weird chef um, in the household, and she liked to make everything gourmet and rich, and so I can do that with a waffle, but with a pancake, I don't know. It doesn't sit well in my stomach for some reason.
It's all right.
Okay.
We like that you're here
Yeah.
for the waffle master race. Waffle master race.
Yep.
Would you rather eat a regular sized paperclip or get punched by Mike Tyson?
A
Ooh.
regular size paperclip or get punched by Mike Tyson.
But the paperclip has
Mm,
been bent, so the pointy parts are in full force.
I'll take the punch, man. Like, I know that shit's gonna fucking hurt and I'm gonna have a headache for a few days, but I don't know. Swallowing a fucking pointy paperclip just sounds way too gruesome.
Sounds way too gruesome.
I'll take a couple teeth knocked out and some hydros prescribed.
You're funny. All right. So I usually ask one specific question around, well, at least around one subject. Tell me about how you feel about people taking responsibility in this day and age.
Um, I mean, I always think anyone should be responsible for like their actions. Like what do you mean responsibility? Like as in go out and like
Just in general, taking
just in
responsibility
general.
for your own actions.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Like if you're gonna do something, you better expect the outcome, whether it's good or bad. So take responsibility for your actions. Be a responsible person and don't complain when you're not. Don't like get behind and say, "Oh, my life sucks, but I don't keep up with it." Like, yeah, take responsibility for the shit that you do.
And
That's how I feel.
how do you implement that, man? How do you keep yourself on track?
How do I keep myself on track? Um,
Is there even a
I
track?
honestly, I would say it's more of a flow. Like I just kind of do what I do. It's just more of a consistency for me. I wake up and do my thing, go into work, get paid, come home and do my thing. But
Pay your
honestly, like
bills.
just the motivation of liking the things that I have. Like I like driving my car. I like being able to live in the house I live in. I like my setup. So honestly, just having what I have at home kind of motivates me to keep it going.
Nice. I that question stemmed from one day I had a really bad day at work and people just were not taking accountability for their own actions, and so that's why that question comes about is a lot of people do not take accountability. So
Yeah.
it's
Speaking
Yeah,
of,
great
and
when you hear people doing it.
yeah, you
I've
probably
definitely noticed
experienced
that.
that.
Being in management, like, because I hear everything from everyone in my staff, and I have a lot of good staff, but I also have a lot of, I don't want to say lousy staff because like they do a good job. They take criticism well, but like they make lousy choices and then they gripe about it. It's like, what's the point of griping about it if you're not like doing anything to help yourself?
Yeah, that's very true. Like a lot of people, you know, don't do things that are gonna fuck up your shit. And just don't do things to make your life worse. But a lot of people, they are just full on. They're always in a complete and total just destroy, fuck up my shit, bro mode. You know, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't. Some of them don't even realize it. But for a lot of people, you know it. You know when you're eating 4 cheeseburgers at McDonald's, you know this isn't a great decision. You know, you don't. There's no way. It's like I'm a smoker. I don't. I don't have any qualms that it's good for me at any point. I never go, man, smoking is just fucking great for me. No, if even if I start to have those qualms, it's branded on the side of the pack. There's a commercial every 10 minutes if you watch the TV or something. There's ads. There's always. If you walk down the street smoking and 5 people are going, "That's gonna kill ya," you know.
Right.
How can you have those qualms, you know? But I take the responsibility. I know it will, you know. I don't smoke around children. I don't get on public buses and smoke, you know.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of people, it's just they don't take ownership for it. And when things start to go downhill, they just go, "Woe is me! All of a sudden, this is happening to me." No, it's not all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden. It's not all of a sudden. The boat was always turning that direction. You just were negligible to go. Ooh, maybe today we don't eat 5 cheeseburgers for lunch just because it's a special 5 for 5. You know?
For real.
Oh man. Yeah. As a manager myself too, I can see that too. You get a lot of people. All of a sudden something goes wrong. Oh, that's not my fault. What? Were you doing it? Yeah, I was in there, but it just happened. What? Like you're not 5. You fucked it
Yeah.
up. You fucked it up. You don't gotta. You're not gonna get
High
spanked.
and cry.
Yeah, I see that a lot. I get blamed for a lot of things. I just let roll off my shoulder. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man. Oh, that went completely wrong for you, and it's my fault. Oh man, if only, if only, you know. Oh, why we got Zakar in here? Zakar, you got any questions?
I'm trying to think of some.
He knew it was coming. He's like a kid reading, looking around the room to see when his
Yeah.
read out loud part would be,
It's
so
like
he
it's
can
like
practice
it's like
it.
popcorn. Yeah, it's like popcorn reading, where they just start reading ahead, so I can practice in my head what I'm gonna say when it's my turn.
And then you still say the BR.
Yeah, and then I don't know.
Yeah. And then you're just like, all that work for nothing.
And you still accidentally call the teacher mom, and it's just downhill from there, you know.
Oh,
What if your
No,
teacher was a
so
guy? How do you call a mom?
it's
that's
even
even
worse. Then.
worse.
Yeah.
Well, what if you're in high school and it's instead of calling him mom, you call him dad, and you say, "Okay, daddy."
Well, I'm not here to shame people. That's good.
Oh, that is one of the worst trends. That is one thing we should not have sexualized. A lot of things. Like, you sexualize a spatula over that, you know? Just saying. Oh,
Yeah, the amount of times I use daddy in a sexual way is ridiculous.
oh yeah, dude. If I had kids, I'd be like, no, we don't use that with We can't use that term.
You may call me father.
Yeah.
Pops.
There's gonna be a whole generation or two of children who are raised, and they're gonna sound real like polite. They're gonna be like, "My father said," and you're gonna be like, "Oh, that sounds so polite and respectful." No, he just wouldn't let us use "daddy" in the house because it gave him a fucking erection.
Oh my god.
Yes, he did just say that.
Oh shit, that was hilarious.
Yeah, I'd be like that sometimes. I mean, Zakar has kids. Are you training your kids to say "dad"?
Yeah. I mean, this is dad.
Oh, well, that was an interesting coincidence. Huh. So you haven't come up with a question. What questions do you got, Mr. Dibs?
Any questions I have?
I got one for you while you think.
Sure.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes. So, that's somewhat of a complicated question.
Ooh, we love
Um,
complicated questions.
so I was adopted at birth. My
Oh, nice.
biological mother got pregnant with me when she was 14 and then gave birth to me when she was 15. And she actually knew my parents before I was born. So it was all set up and I still had contact with her growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she had another kiddo, but that girl got adopted. And so that was with I think it was with a different man. Um,
Wait, I have
so
a.
she's like my half sister, and I've actually only met her once.
Oh, I was gonna say, as someone who also had sort of a similar situation. It's one of those things you ever think about this, man. So you don't know. You don't know those other siblings, man. You could pick someone up at a bar, and it could have been one of them.
Right? Yeah, for real.
That's the.
And actually, I just found out via Facebook. A girl contacted me saying that she was my half sister, and the reason she was contacting me was because she was pregnant, and she wanted to make sure like there was no medical issues in the family that I knew about. And I had absolutely no contact with like my biological dad, so I don't know anything about his history or anything. Like she knows more than I do. She was closer to him. She actually met him.
Yeah.
I didn't know a thing about him.
It's a good
I only knew
idea,
about
though.
my yeah. It was cool that she reached out to me, but like I don't really talk to her. And I told her like you can keep me added on Facebook just to kind of like keep up with me, but like I'm not
You're not going to the
looking to
group.
go out to
Yeah.
have like another sister in my life, you know?
Yeah. When I met mine, like, I had someone call him pretending to be like a detective, and he was like, "Oh yes, absolutely, I have some things to tell him." Turned out he had like MS and stuff. It looks like it skipped because it's just fucking random. Like you could have 5 kids and 2 of them would have what he had, you know?
For real.
Yeah, but man, he was like, "Oh dear God, yes, I have things to tell him." This is an interesting thing to find out. So I mean, it's always good to do that if you can get that reach out. And now with like the spit and tube DNA services, there's people who like maybe in your mom's situation where they were forced into that adopt off the kid because they were 14. There's people out there now who will do those spit and tube services and enable that option where someone with a close enough DNA profile can message them with the hopes that hey, maybe they'll reconnect with that kid they were forced to give up at in their teens, you know, or so there's hope there too.
Yeah.
Well, did y'all have heard about that run group of kids? There's 31 so far where their dad was
Oh
he was
yeah.
basically a sperm donor.
Well, yeah, yeah, and the
And through
company.
like 23andMe, they found 31 kids so far.
Well,
Holy moly.
and he's mad because they promised it would only be used for like 4 kids when he donated. So
Oh
they
shit.
told him 4 kids, and instead they made
He's got a herd.
yeah they made like 20 something kids, which to me seems
Well, no, there's 31 confirmed, and with more. They just found the 31st one. They just found like a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah, man, he
and
must
it's
have
all
had a
through
great.
23andMe.
He might have had a great fucking profile picture when they, because in the olden days, you know, you go jizz in a cup, they have a picture, they have what schooling you did, etc., the age, and sort of you just go in there and you're sort of flipping through. And I'm like, oh yeah, well look at that jawline. And he went to Harvard. I'll take Jim on page 5. Get squirting. I mean, that's a really rundown way of describing it, but that's
That's
how
the
it
seventh one
was.
for Jim on page 5 today.
Yeah, dude, they probably were knocking on this dude's door. Hey, man, do not jerk off. We will be there with a cup. We even got you a nurse that will do it for you. He's probably like, you're only using this for 4 kids? Yeah, but the 4th one, they're really trying. It's just not sticking, so we need more samples. You know? Sitting there like, okay, I mean, if it's helping people, you know, live out their dream to have a kid, yeah, sure. And then he fucking finds out he has, you know, 30 plus fucking kids. Oh
Kind of
man,
want to see what this guy looks like.
I
There's a
would,
Family Guy episode almost like that, or
yeah,
exactly like that, but
I,
they all look like Peter.
yeah, dude, yeah. Family Guy did it first. Actually, I think American Dad did it first before that. But neither here or there. The point being is, just imagine this dude's getting swiped right on a shit ton. So yeah, he's got to be a good-looking fella, man. Fucking probably like went to Harvard and Yale at the same time in there, and they're like, hey, look, he's got an MBA, a law degree, he's a doctor, and in his free time between those 3 jobs, he spends the rest of it at the gym.
And he's 6'4".
Yeah, he had to be something. This dude, you know, you know when you had like in the 40s that we're the superior. I don't know. This guy might be the superior human. Something's going on, or he's got really fucking great marketing. Whoever was his marketing, I want to be mine.
He all walks out of his home like Xerxes from 300.
Yeah, he asked it. Something, dude. Flies around. He doesn't walk. He floats an inch above the ground. What are you talking about? Oh god.
um,
Let's check in on Zakar. Zakar. Oh, he muted himself. He's like, no, I'm gonna get fucked.
I was trying to come up with some questions, but for some reason, the only questions I could think of revolve from the other night's discussion, and I don't
Go
want that
for
to
it.
turn into this.
No, dude. It's fun. Go for it.
Oh my god, man.
It's fun.
Yeah,
But
that's the
Trace is
whole
also
point.
in here too, and
Trace, I
I don't
haven't.
want to disturb Trace.
Oh no, Trace can disturb you if you want.
Shut up.
Trace has actually seen that recording from the other
Yeah.
night. She has complete and total knowledge of all of that. She knows. So yeah, go on, man. Go for it.
I have to say, there was 2 or 3 times where I laughed so hard that no noise came out of my throat.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Laugh so hard.
Um,
No noise came out of my throat. You just need to lube it up, man. Lube that throat up.
I gotta say too, like Beer is a really funny dude as well. And I don't know if it's just him in general or his voice, but he makes me laugh.
Well, he's a very upbeat guy, which is ironic because he's been getting a federal level fucking for like a year.
Phew.
Yeah, it's actually, we talk about it in his episode. Brandon there. I think it's number 10. But yeah, like, and he finally, like, he came out pretty much ahead, just a little bit of probation. He can drink. They're not doing, like, no call pistol.
So he's like on unsupervised or something?
Yeah, it's unsupervised. And he came
Nice.
out ahead because they found him with, like, over 30 grand, money counter, drugs, weapons, everything. So he came out pretty
Jeez.
ahead. He tells the money counter story where the judge is like, I don't have a money counter, and he had to hold back going, well, it sounds like you're in the wrong industry. I don't know. So, I mean, he's come out really ahead. He's always had like a pretty, when he gets serious, he's sort of like me. He's still comedic about it. So you never really know if he's serious or angry. So we both, that's how we always did things. So you never really know. Like, I don't know, with me, people think, oh, he's just angry all the time. I just don't care. With him, he doesn't care, but he's also jolly.
Right.
But that guy could be completely and utterly serious, like back alley ready to stab someone coming at him, and he would just be like, you know, like the
For
fucking
real,
Joker
for real.
or something. He's probably one chemical accident from becoming the Joker. Yeah.
He's definitely a cool dude.
Yeah, you liked that. We filmed that Netflix special. I haven't decided what to call that. If I'm gonna upload it and just call it intermission, maybe I should just upload it and call it the Netflix special.
The Netflix special.
No, you might get,
Sued.
you know, yeah,
I might get told to
trademark.
I'll call it the Debflix special.
Who? Yeah, I came into that chat pretty tipsy and started sobering up a little bit. I didn't continue drinking. I could have, but
Hey, man, any comedy I do, my best audience is drunk. I used to make that as a joke as like a teen. Because I would do the full fucking half hour up there. I'd be like, the only time I get laughs is when the crowd is drunk. I entertain a drunk audience very well. Regular
hell yeah,
audience,
I'd say so.
a regular audience, they're on Twitter.
They're on Twitter.
Yeah, I had to tell them to lock up the phones at the door.
I always laugh when anybody mentions Twitter to me.
Twatter.
No, my mom got banned from Twitter.
Yeah, you love that too.
I do. I think it's absolutely hilarious.
I'm curious now.
Politically related.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha.
My 70 some odd year old mother got banned.
From Twitter.
On Twitter.
She probably
Yeah.
doesn't realize she could just make another Twitter.
No, she didn't. She's like, I'm never going back to that platform, even with the new account. She, she's crazy. I'd rather use, and then she named these sites I've never heard of, and I'm like, okay, mom, you do that.
Well, here's my argument to that. Because people always go, oh, yeah, I don't like that group of people. Which is sort of really shitty, too. When you start silencing voices, you're really on a descent. And I don't think people really put that together. You know, we can hear the guy ramble crazy things on the corner. It doesn't mean we have to incorporate them and believe. But
Right.
now if you go over and duct tape his mouth, you've done some infringement. So I don't see that shit going well either. And it can either go two directions. It can go more of that, and eventually you got to ask yourself, when is it? Oh, it's no longer the people I didn't like. Now I am on the list too. And I don't think people, they don't have that self-reflection to go. They always believe, I am the right. I will always be right. So I won't be on that list. And it's like, what the hell?
What are you eating, Deb?
Holy shit.
What
I'm
are you
having-
getting? Jeez.
I was just having some trouble in the kitchen. No worries, we're good.
Jesus.
Sound like you fell into a bag of chips.
Right?
No,
Into
I
the
was-
bag head first.
It was some of the name brands left behind at a property.
Yeah, he opened up his closet and then they all just came tumbling down on top of him like an avalanche.
I have that with Cheetos because you get these like Frito-Lay packs, and then like I liked Cheetos for a minute, and now I don't want shit to do with them. I have drawers full of Cheetos that are gonna expire in like a month.
I mean, do they really expire though? Let's be honest.
You know, Trace made this argument about mac and cheese the other day, and I am very, very not about expired. Like, oh, it expires today. Oh, it's done. Bye. And I
Yeah, he had a
understand it.
box. A box of powdered
No,
mac
it
and
was
cheese.
liquid. It was
Oh, okay.
it was like a Velveeta type deal, but it was off brand.
Well,
It
that's
was
not
called
even real
So
food,
Cheesy.
so that can't expire.
Listen, it sure as shit can expire, and your stomach will let you know.
My mom gave me this Kraft macaroni and cheese box, and I didn't look at the expiration date, and I poured it into the boiling water, and I'm looking in there, and I keep seeing these black specks coming up. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And so I finally get like a strainer, dip it in there, and I'm pulling out like just a clump of fucking dead gnats.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
weevils.
Yeah,
Ooh
little
man.
weevils. I was just thinking of
Weevils.
weevils. Yeah, weevils.
Yep. And so I look at the
That's how pasta
expiration
goes
date,
bad as weevils.
and this shit's like 3 years expired. It's like, fuck, no wonder you gave this shit to me because you didn't want to throw it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, weevils is how pasta basically goes bad.
Yeah.
I had that same thing with rice once. That was an interesting experience.
All right,
These
Dabs, I
fucking
got a
chicken
question for
wings.
you.
Let's
Uh-oh.
hear it.
When do you ever a memory of when you first felt like you were actually an adult, or do you still not feel like an adult?
Damn.
Ooh, good question.
Man, that's tough. Because like, you know, growing up hard headed, I was kind of an asshole teen. So like, I always thought that I was right, and I guess in that sense, I always thought that I was like more grown up. But like, honestly, I see it more and more each day that I'm not as grown up as I think I am, and I'm still learning shit every day. So like, I feel like an adult now. Probably up. Let's see. Up probably about 2 to 3 years ago, I felt like I matured significantly.
Let
But
me
like, I
guess.
still
Are
don't feel
you
like
just past 25?
I'm 26. I'll be 27 in July.
Yeah, dude, that's how that rolls. Like, I always tell people, like, I'll stop calling you kid when you're a little bit past 25. Trust me, you'll understand.
Yeah, like I still definitely have tendencies to where I feel like a kid. Um, I mean, shit, I still smoke pot every single day. Like, what the fuck? I could be doing better things than that. And also too, like, I don't know, like I play video games a lot. I don't know. I feel like that kind of keeps me feeling like a kid is those two things.
You know
But
what, though?
at the
There's
same time,
this.
I enjoy them.
Yeah, there's this idea that when you hit adulthood, you're all of a sudden going to stop. And, like, what do you really think your life's going to pertain at that point? That you're going to stop doing these things? I never understood that.
Right.
And it's a belief held by younger people. As you get older and you go, that's a stupid idea, you know? Maybe it's because
Right.
you still want to play video games or what, but it's like, it is a stupid idea. You think what? You just flip a switch at, like, 21 and go, oh, I'm done with this. Come on, man.
Right.
I mean, there's
I don't know.
probably 40-year-old marriages now that are being ruined because dude won't put down the fucking PlayStation. Like, chill out. It's not that black and white. It's not you wake up and you go, oh, this is over.
Right,
Well,
right.
I'd argue that, like you were saying, when you started like kind of having that reflection that you realize you don't know everything is when you start kind of becoming an adult.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
when you realize you don't know everything and you still have a lot to learn, it's kind of when you start realizing that you're like that's better than thinking you know everything all the time, because then you never really grow up that way or learn anything ever again. So you never really
Yeah.
change.
Yeah, and learning keeps
So.
you young, man. And it's like that's the old philosophical saying of "I'm wise because I don't know everything."
Right.
You know, you're wise because you know nothing at all, really. Even
Yeah.
yeah,
But 25 is a funny age. I think that's when your brain kind of stops. I think that's when your brain stops developing too. Like
Mm-hmm.
everyone just assumes when you're an adult, your brain's kind of fully developed. I think 25 is kind of like the cutoff for brain development. But that's when I feel like
it
most
is.
people felt like they became an adult. I mean, yeah. No, I'd say that's about the age I felt like. Also, when I got like a Costco membership, I was like, man, I'm a fucking adult now. Like this is sick. I don't have to piggyback on my. I don't have to piggyback on my
I'm
parents
doing
to
it.
go get 200 rolls of toilet paper.
So, and then the other thing, someone said something, and it reverberates with me is, you're never truly grown until you have a child. because that's when the world it's no longer all about you, you know. So that's when you're truly, 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 truly grown, you know.
I think there's a
Uh,
difference between having a kid and being a parent, though.
Yeah,
Because I think
yeah,
definitely.
exactly.
anyone can get someone pregnant and have a kid.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's, maybe that should be
Even
changed.
even if they don't like give up the kid, or
Yeah,
which
okay,
I
maybe.
would argue is sometimes more responsible than keeping the kid. But like, you know, even if they like, yeah, I know plenty of parents who do nothing and are not much more mature, because of it. Did not grow up because of it. They reverted because of it.
Yeah, there's that too. I would say.
Don't get me wrong. When I'm playing dinosaurs with my kid and I'm blasting the Jurassic Park theme song through my house, I'm still a little bit of a kid inside, but that's okay.
Yeah, but you're doing that. You're doing that, to make that environment for your kids. So if anything, that makes you a better parent. I would say,
How did we do a 1-round kill?
I don't know.
You guys are too strong. Too strong.
Got that fishing strength.
I had that sort of parent, the reverse. And it was ironic because the adopted one, the one that did the adopting, he did the full steam ahead, then the other one did the reverse. So that was an interesting experience, but yeah, I'll change that when I say that to people. When you have that child and you have that fucking you hit that point of it's no longer all about me, it's also about this kid. So we'll change that up for you, just for you though.
Thanks.
That's a good point to make. Anyways, as you cough, can you meow while dabbing?
So I'm actually gonna attempt this right now. I've got my rig ready, but I do have to pick out a dab that I want. My girlfriend just got back from Colorado last night, so she brought home a shit ton. So I'll name off a few and I'll let y'all make the choice. We've got refined golden goat. Strawberry sandies. And what is this one? This one's called Ghost Cookies. Which one should I take?
Pecan sandies.
Yeah, pecan sandies.
Sounds interesting.
That sounds like a Texas thing.
I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck a ghost cookie is, and I'm gonna be stuck on that one for a while. So you listen to them.
Yeah, so I was explaining earlier how I don't really care about names and shit like that. Like none of that appeases me, and it's kind of annoying having the name that I have in RuneScape because I always get asked like weed questions. Like, dude, I don't care. I just smoke to get high. Like, I'm not that into it. I just happen to get the name.
You're not one of those people where that's your fucking personality.
No.
See, when I see a name like that, I think that I just automatically think that's going to be someone that's their whole personality. Because there is
No, I
that.
mean,
There's people who lightly smoke, and then there's people who that is it. That is all they have for a personality.
My best friend is the kind of guy who will go all in on whatever he does, and so then it's just like you like a month ago you didn't have this much knowledge about this kind of stuff, and now you're all of a sudden like all in on everything. You've like, put down Google, man. Just
enjoy it. Just enjoy it for a minute. Make mistakes. That's the one thing, dude. People with things like Google, if you're playing something, if you're doing something, like if I wanted to learn to golf, I can literally spend all day just to wrap it back to Dabs here, Matt. I mean, just to wrap it back to Matt here. I could spend all day on Google instead of making those mistakes, and mistakes are important, dude. Mistakes are where the real learning happens.
all right. Here's a moment of truth, y'all.
A video game
All
question.
right. Let him do it. He's gonna dabs and meow.
Yeah, dab first.
Nothing's coming through.
No.
Oh, meow. Oh, meow.
Are you okay?
That cat sounds a little sick.
Oh,
I think that cat
holy
has
shit,
COVID, dude.
man! That was woo, that felt great. So I can, but I kind of choke at the same time. Holy shit! Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. All right, so Car, what was your question?
I was just gonna say, what was your like? I don't know if you guys already asked this. I missed half of it, but like, what was your first like video game experience? Were you always like a computer game? Did you have a console growing up?
Did you have a
Did you console at a friend's house? Like, what was your kind of?
open an arcade in New Mexico?
The arcade in New Mexico. The first video game experience that I vividly remember, I think I was 3 or 4, and I had a foster sister who was, let's see, she is probably 6 or 7 years older than me,
Mhm.
maybe 8. Um, but she was playing Mario on like the original Nintendo, and I think my first actual video game experience where I started playing was Mario 64 and then like Super Smash Brothers.
Okay.
Now wait, I have a question about New Mexico.
Sure.
What is up with turquoise? Why do people make jokes about turquoise in New Mexico?
Dude, okay, my dad is a turquoise junkie. Like he he makes canes and urns out of juniper, and he puts turquoise in it with like epoxy, and like it looks really good, but I don't know, like a lot of people just, I don't know, they're really turned on by turquoise up here.
I think it's because it's it's easily found there. I remember as a kid we would go and get it, and it was cheap. But
Yeah, it really is. You can go get like a 2 pound bag for probably shit 30 to $50 depending on where you go.
yeah,
Like it's really cheap.
it's pretty, but it's
Yeah.
very inexpensive.
So, anyways, you mentioned foster sister. I thought you were just adopted out to like one person. Were you in the foster system?
No, I wasn't in the foster system, and nor was this child. Um, my mom's best friend growing up, she had 2 kids, and she did meth. So she would get like all strung out, and like their dad lived in Cancun. So they'd have to stay with us for like significant periods of time. And so we basically just, growing up, she was around so much that we called them my sisters. And
Ah,
yeah, we're still really close. Like I've only been with one family, my mom and dad who adopted me. I've been with them since birth. So no, I've never been in like any type of foster care system or orphanage or anything like that. Though my parents, even though like the adoption was pre-planned because my parents knew my biological mom, they still had to go through court and they had to pay like all the court dues, and it's pretty expensive. I think they say it was like 100 grand.
oh yeah, it's very like adoption's very expensive, which is weird because you have people who are they're in that system. And there's probably people who'd make great parents, but that's a huge amount up front. And for what point are you using it as a proving point that, oh, they're good? Well, I think you could find other ways than taking 50 to 100 grand from them.
Yeah,
That's not great for the child. That's money. Take that 50 to 100 as a proving point. Cool. Take it. You know what you do? Put that money in a fucking college fund for that kid. So now that
for
kid
real.
could get great parents. They've already put up this money, so they've done whatever quote unquote proving that you wanted of them. And that kid will have a better forward position in life. Right off the rip.
Right.
I don't know. That whole thing is like it's bad. you know, and
Yeah, and like my parents definitely wanted me. That's why they went through that whole process. And I'll admit, like, if someone's going to pay that much to have a kid, then they have a little bit of wealth, you know. So I grew up in the upper middle class. I was pretty privileged growing up, I'll admit, but at the same time, like my parents didn't just like spoil me. We lived on a 6 acre ranch growing up, so like they put me to work pretty early in my life. They taught me work ethic. They taught me how to like advance on my own. So
yeah, that's
uh,
important too, you know, because you could be able to give your kid everything, and then you do that, and then they grow up, and now it's time to turn them loose, and they have nothing. They have no skill, no drive,
for
no
real.
ambition. Do they treat you any bit different since you weren't their biological? Like now you're an adult. Are they like, oh, that's it? He's out on his own.
Oh,
We did our duty.
so yeah, like I didn't get to fully answer the siblings question. I do have like the two half sisters on my biological side, but on my adopted side, my adopted mom, she wasn't able to have children. So my dad, early in his life, when he was like in his early 20s, he had two sons with another woman, and then they divorced, and he ended up marrying my mom. And so I had my two brothers growing up too, and they were both pretty well off. The one that was close to the younger one, he was 44 when he died,
Mm.
which kind of sucked. That was back in 2013.
Wait,
And then my other brother, who is now 50, he lives in San Diego. He's got two kiddos, and you know he doesn't really have much to do with us.
oh man. Yeah,
Um,
that was gonna be my other question. Is being non-biological, how was the treatment?
I'm treated very well. Like my parents live 10 minutes down the road. I go and help them out. I'm actually going over there on Tuesday to sand their deck and then restain it. That's gonna be a couple-day project. Because they're pretty old. My dad's gonna be 76 or 77 this year, and my mom's gonna be 66.
So you were a good investment for them, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like I stick around. My other brother doesn't really have much to do with them.
Oh man, that's shit. My boss, his kids are my age, and like his birthday was the other day, and like I brought him a burrito from Mickey D's, and then because he's a good guy, like he's Canadian, he's a decently good guy. You know, I sort of feel bad. It's his first day. I said, "Listen, man, as long as you're not fucking up things, I won't be mean to you." And the way I said it was sort of shitty, but he's turned out to be a really good fucking guy. He's the type of guy who could tell you to go fuck yourself politely,
I gotcha.
and he tells a lot of people to go fuck themselves. But so I give him that breakfast burrito. Then like he pops out for a smoke. I feel bad, like because I think he smokes more because I do. He pops out for a smoke, and his delivery driver comes up. One of his kids got him Panera Bread breakfast, and I'm like, well, now my burrito just looks like shit. I got you $1 burrito. This comes with coffee. It's a sandwich. There's an apple. And then like later in the day, another kid sends him Chipotle. He's sitting there with all this food. He's like, oh fuck, I don't know, because like breakfast is enough for him. He's like me. He's like, oh, if I eat breakfast, dude, I'm not eating. I eat one meal a day, and that's it.
Right.
That's all I can handle. So now like the fridge is full of these different foods. This kid's just all the time. Like his kid brought in a vehicle for just a loaf, and she sends pizza later. Like, and he's like, look at all this pizza. And then like I have like two pieces. Like, oh, you're gonna have to eat a lot more than that. I go, come on, man. What do you think I can handle? And you got this salad. She sent like a full fucking spread. I tell him all the time. I go, I don't know how you raised him, but it sounds like you did good. You know, he had to fix
Holy
his
cow.
he had to fix his snowblower because they're not around to shovel anymore. But he put them all to work. He was like, yeah, I didn't own a snowblower until the last one moved out.
Right.
Um, but yeah, he did well. It sounds like your parents did well. I mean, if you're gonna come out and stain and finish
Mhm.
their deck,
Yeah. I mean, a little background on my parents. My dad, he was an architect as well as a postmaster at the highest level in Oklahoma City. I never lived in Oklahoma City. That was before I was born. But yeah, my dad did pretty well. And then my mom was a flight attendant, and I guess back in the day that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know how it does now,
I
but she
guess
said
it does.
she got to meet a lot of celebrities, like a lot of sports teams, a lot of actresses and actors. Um, she says she did get to travel to a lot of places, but the shitty thing was is that she'd be so tired that she'd just go to her hotel and then
Yeah.
pass out and then be on the
Wake up.
next flight out of there.
Yep. Next shift. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't know. It still sounds like they did a good job. Like I didn't meet my dad till I was about your age, and I still go down there, and I like, fuck, I forget the last thing I did. I cut down a bunch of fucking trees. It was hotter than fucking dick out there too. It was hot,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm good, man. This is we're good. This is enough. Like, I finished the thing at Gatorade, and that's when I'm like, I think we've done enough trees today.
Yeah, for real. Hard work in the hot sun.
Yeah. Spiders everywhere and shit. And then he has one tree that fell and it was sitting on his shed, and he's like, I'm like, that's outside of my skill level, dude. Like, the tree is, like, if you took me and tied me to three other me's, it's thicker than that. Like, I'm good.
True.
Like, I'm gonna get up there and do it, and
It's
that'll
all
be,
on the shed.
yeah. But, but there's something to be said there. If you do your kids fucking right, dude, it pays dividends. You do them wrong, it does not.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they did all right. I
Yeah.
still have my flaws though.
Oh, I mean,
Don't we all?
yeah, it's human. I'm
I'll
sure.
admit it's a little hard to get out of New Mexico. That's my plan. Um, I know that's kind of stereotypical with my name, but I am trying to like move up to probably Colorado.
Have you considered making meth in an RV
A long time ago, perhaps.
when it was popular?
Yeah.
Maybe buy a car wash that you happen to catch cancer in the years before. There's a lot there. You look
I
more
felt
like
I
Jesse.
felt a lot of Breaking Bad references there.
Really?
Just a few.
Just a tiny amount.
Just a little
Just
bit. I
enough
mean,
to lube the wheels.
right. Only if the meth is blue will it totally fit the bill
I
then.
don't know his skill level. I mean, food dye is cheap.
Food dye is cheap.
I probably wouldn't smoke food dye, but I'm also not gonna smoke meth, so I don't know. But I think that's a lot. Let's turn it completely to you. Did you come up with any questions, comments, concerns?
Um, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I've been really hungry for a while. That's why you heard me in the kitchen. So I've been kind of distracted by my stomach.
In other words, are
Um,
you saying you needed
Well, we're
to
almost
take a break?
yeah, we're almost done. An hour and a half is a bit much for these.
Yeah.
So any questions? What advice? If you have no questions, then what advices, sage wisdom, words would you pass on to others?
um, well, we
Stubby
have
stop.
we have some younger folks in our community, some minors, like Glizzy, Patriots, Hungry Panda. And Hungry Panda, he was actually on our Team 2 bingo team.
Yeah.
And he brought up a question to me the other day asking if he should try pot and if he should try like vaping and drinking. And I told him absolutely not, man. Like, don't be doing that shit. There's time to do that in the future. Like, right now, you're young, let your brain develop. because he's a really smart kid. He's in calculus, and I don't know. I just thought it was a really weird question. Like, why would he ask me that? Like, what did he expect me to tell him? Just, yeah, go do it, man. No,
Yeah. Well,
I don't
see,
want anyone.
if you're that person, I know it sounds mean, but if you're that person who that's your whole personality, you will though, because that seems to be the thing with those type of people. That's their whole personality. It's like other people need to do it. Other people need to do it. Other people need to do it.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's a time and a place for it. Like, wait till you're retired. Because if you grow up smart and with a really good brain, and you don't do the shit that I do, and you actually live up to your potential, then I mean, you can retire early. And I basically told him, it's like, let your brain develop and do your thing. Like,
So
hey, maybe on vacation, have a drink or two. Like, yeah, go and experiment, but like, don't be just going and getting hammered and shit.
So you're literally the guy who just did a dab while meowing. His advice is, "Hey kids, don't do drugs."
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I mean, I had a lot of potential, and I'm a fucking housekeeping manager. I could have done a lot better if I wanted to. So yeah, I tried to steer people away from it.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
I
some
can
nice
always
of you to
change
say.
too.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the nature of the universe is constant change. But that's a really interesting take. It's real good, man. It's a
Yeah.
real mature and interesting take. It's not one I would have expected.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I was at New Mexico State University, my whole thing was I was going to do PGA golf management and get my bachelor's in marketing. And I never did that because I let my brother's death get in the way of that. And I decided, oh, I'm just going to go out and do stupid shit,
Man,
and ended up dropping out.
listen, dude, whether you're 50 or 15, there's always tomorrow, there's always a chance to change. Go do it.
Right.
There's WGU. There's tons of cheap options too. Go get that degree, man.
I mean, I have an associate's in psychology, but I'm not doing anything with it. It
Okay.
helped me a little bit with my job because it showed that I was able to complete something, as well as I'm able to like
Yeah.
deal with different types of moods and stuff because I can read it a little bit better.
Yeah, well, a lot of what a degree is for a lot of things is just I'm able to stick this out for 4 years, and you should hire me because of that.
Right. So yeah, like I have skills. I just
Well, there's
I don't know.
there's always now, dude. If not yesterday, then today. If not today, then later today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
Anyways, so unless you got anything else to add, I know you're
No,
home. You got anything else to add, Trace?
No, but I've really enjoyed getting to know you.
Yeah,
yeah, it was.
it's been a
I
surprise.
You
appreciate y'all bringing me on. It was fun talking to y'all.
you
Yeah.
need to come on voice chat more.
For
Yeah.
real.
Well, he said that after the hour-long comedy special the other night. He's like, I did not expect that. I know
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
listening
was.
here hasn't been a laugh riot, but it's not always meant to be. Oh, well,
Yeah.
then, as you know, how do we usually end this, Trace? Let's get some meows going. Come on, Deb.
Yeah.